begin this hour with the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, who says the power to decide who will occupy the office of President of Nigeria in 2027 ultimately rests with the Nigerian people and not the Tinubu administration. Atiku made this remark on Monday in response to the statements by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, urging Northerners interested in the presidency to wait until 2031. The former vice president, while speaking through his media advisor Paul Ibe, says by 2027, the southern Nigeria would have had 17 years of leadership in the Fourth Republic. Well, parts of the statement reads, quote, "Where then does true equity and fairness reside? By the year 2027, the South will have enjoyed 17 years of leadership, 8 years under Obasanjo, 5 years under Jonathan, and 4 years under Tinubu, while the North will have experienced only 11 years with Yar'Adua serving 3 and Buhari 8, end quote.
Well, Buba Galadima, a chieftain of the new Nigeria People's Party, otherwise known as the NNPP, joins us in the studio now on this matter. Great to have you on the news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Adesua and Kechi.
Good evening.
Yeah.
So, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the PDP has responded to the SGF comment. How do you respond to the SGF who says the North should wait till 2031 for President Bola Tinubu to have a second term in office?
Well, Adesua, in the first place, I wouldn't want to discuss Nigerian issues on the basis of North and South. Not at all. I'm a nationalist. I will remain so until I die. But the issue would be about equity and justice. And for me, Akume, a sociologist, who is a brother to a historian, should have known better. If he looks at the villa, Aso Villa, which he said there is no vacancy, he should have known that other people were there before, namely President Shehu Shagari, General Buhari, General Babangida, Chief Ernest Shonekon, General Sani Abacha, General Abdusalam Abubakar, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan, Buhari, now President Bola Tinubu. So if all the 10 former presidents and heads of state that stayed there are no more, you should also know that one day, sooner than later, President Bola Tinubu would also go. Nigerians behave as if they don't understand history. If you are talking of region, Akume is one of the people I respect very, very much, because as governor of Benue State in 1999, he was one of the foremost northerners that worked for the interest of the North. In fact, he was more northern than even the Caliphate, because Akume spent most of his time defending the New Nigerian Development Corporation, NNDC, and the Bank of the North, to which at a point, only Benue had a commanding shares in Bank of the North. For him to make a somersault over what he believed in before, I just laugh and say, well, the man is protecting his Gari.
Did he really make a somersault? Sorry, because his words are clear. He based his opinions and his comments on the unwritten gentleman agreement reached by political parties returning to democratic rule in 1999, which has guided Nigeria's democracy since then up until now, where we have rotation of power from the North to the South and back to the North. Isn't that what has guided us all through? So that's what he's basing his comments on, to say we've had 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari, and then Bola Tinubu is having his 4-year tenure. The Constitution allows him a second tenure of 8 years in all.
I thought you would go back. You started from the end. I don't want to discuss North and South. But if that is what you want us to educate Nigerians on, by 2027, the South could have ruled this country for 18 and a half years, while the North had only 9 and a half years. 8 years of Buhari, 1.5 years of Jonathan, which means automatically you could revert to the North so that they make up for the deficit, if that is what he's talking about. But I believe in who has delivered. Who has delivered on his promises to Nigerians? Has that man occupying that seat has ameliorated the condition of the people? We would ask Akume for their scorecard. What have they done to Nigerians? Are we practicing monarchy? I thought it's democracy. That's why I don't want to talk about North and South. What I want to talk about is who has delivered on the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. And if President Tinubu delivers very well, and Sheyi would be the best person with the capacity to succeed him, for me, I have no problem. But what the people feel now in their body will determine the way they vote in 2027. There is a big vacancy. In fact, there is nobody occupying that seat in 2070, according to the Nigerian constitution. So Akume's assertion is only laughable. And when I heard it and looked at him talking about that, I said, my friend is protecting his seat. And Gary.
I was actually going to talk about that because he made that assertion that, look, President Tinubu has not lost any goodwill. And then Atiku comes out and says, look, it's the voters who have to decide. And what are they going to decide on? They are going to decide on who has done well, just like you said. But this sort of conversation that we always have when it comes to zoning, rotation of power, how does that impact the political divide in Nigeria? The continuity of governance, stability, inclusivity, how does that impact it? Is it that important?
Is this government doing equity? Nkechi? Are they doing equity in their service delivery? Have you asked Nigerians on the street whether there is equity in what is happening in Nigeria today? The day of reckoning is coming in 2027. I don't believe in zoning. And I had done that because I was a member of the Constituent Assembly in 1987, member of the Constitutional Conference in 1994, and a member of the National, in 2014. So I should know better. We promulgated this, we designed this constitution. So I know every letter of it and why that is there. I thought we would talk about, why did the president sign a memorandum of understanding with France? What is happening to your party, NNPP? What is the...
We'll get to all of those.
These are issues that are of importance as to whether there is going to be a vacancy in 2027. I want to tell you that there is no amount of intimidation by anybody, even amount of killing by anybody, that can stop Nigerians from producing an alternative presidential candidate to run. And I want to say, and Nigerians should know that we know as of today that this government and APC are sending emissaries to compromise leaders of political parties and offering tens of billions to leaders of parties.
Including your party, the NNPP?
Of course. We are one of the registered political parties.
Did you receive the 10 billion naira?
I say offering. We know them. We know what they are doing. Even if it's by word of mouth, that's a promise.
So you're promising that
they are promising all political parties to align with the agenda of the present government, so that in 2027 there would be no candidate. So, and you can see how they are trying to decimate political parties. They have decimated PDP to the ground. They have decimated Labour Party. They have decimated ABGA. You don't even know which.
You left out your party in that list. They haven't decimated your party as well?
No, they can't, because we are too smart for them.
Okay, so
of course, but you know that they're trying to destabilize Kano every day.
Okay,
because
so
that is their nightmare. Konkoso is their nightmare.
You have highlighted a lot of issues, but I want to take you back to something you said, and you did mention that Nigerians are interested in who delivers. When has Nigerians ever had the opportunity to vote on a candidate of their choice? And I ask you this because it all rests with the political parties. It is who the political parties produce for election that the people are left to vote for on election day. But let me ask you, would you say that...
I hope you know the NRC SDP days.
I understand that. But
Thank you.
those are those days. Do we have those days now, Mr. Galadima? I can ask you that. But really, my question is, and I want you to answer this, are you saying that the Nigerian politics of today is not influenced by politics of region, politics of ethnicity? Can you confidently tell Nigerians that politics of Nigeria today is not influenced by religion and ethnicity and all of those fragile lines? Is that what you're saying?
Is that our wish?
But is that what obtains?
It can be influenced, but I have been fighting against that.
And
I don't believe in that.
How have you been able to fight it through? Have you been successful?
Me?
Yes.
I have been detained, questioned, locked up, including the treasonable trial.
Would you say you've been successful in that fight?
Rome was not built in a day. I may die, somebody will take over from me.
Great.
And when, for example, if you eliminate Buba Galadima, 100 Buba Galadimas will spring up. That is the law of nature.
Great.
So
we will continue to fight for justice. We will continue to fight for the ordinary people. We will continue to fight for Nigeria until we drop dead.
So talking about infiltrating or trying to infiltrate the opposition party, that's basically giving Nigerians that option that they don't have an alternative. Now, do you think your party...
They will always have an alternative.
Of course, they will have an alternative.
Always.
But let's take a look at what just happened in Ghana, where you have the opposition party, NDC. John Mahama just won. Is your party inspired or will be inspired by what has happened in Ghana?
It's not whether my party is inspired or not. I'm extremely happy that through the ballot box, Africans can change government. That is a good whatever. But in this country, all of us must stand up to ensure that that happens in our life and in our country. And that is not for politicians alone. All of you people must join hands with the politicians to make sure that our country delivers on democracy. We are not being ruled by monarchy.
Great. Your principal, Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso, is rumored to be interested in running again. He's from the north. Can you confirm to us that he'll be running in 2027?
He's a Nigerian, not from the north. From the north, but a Nigerian.
Will he be contesting in 2027?
The Constitution has given him the right to contest if the period is there. So Kwankwaso, as one of the Nigerians, is looking, and if he feels that he's strong enough, he's got enough support, he will run.
Okay.
What stops him?
Before we let you go, you did mention the tax debate earlier as we started this conversation. Very quickly, why do you think that the tax bills or tax reform bills by President Bola Tinubu was so much vehemently opposed by the northern region, particularly by Mr. Galadima?
And that's why, look, I don't want you to call the north by Nigeria.
By Nigerians. But it was not all Nigerians that were rejecting the bills.
Who supports it?
A lot of people support it.
Who?
Well, maybe not a lot, but the business community did not oppose it. Well, we did not hear them oppose it.
It is not about them.
We did not hear governors from the south
The business community don't lose anything. And it's not the whole bill that is bad. But the major issues in that bill are anti-people. Because once you increase VAT by 1%, the cost of things will skyrocket. And it is the ordinary man who has no capacity to even feed himself that will suffer more. The businessman, each time you add whatever, he will also add it on his goods. So he doesn't need to complain. But what pains me is that some Nigerians, that even though it hurts them, they will say, yes, we support the president because Mr. A is the one that is opposing it. We are a country. We should talk for the good of everybody. Not because Mr. A is opposed to something, I have to oppose, I have to like it, or I have to oppose it. That's not how to build a nation. Please.
All right. That's a good
And
place
you
to
cannot
leave
end
it.
when I don't say, because I saw you people interviewing my legal advisor. Arise TV.
Who's your legal advisor?
NNPP legal advisor.
Okay.
Today, around 2 p.m.
Okay, that's on Newsday.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw them. Look, you people in Arise TV, who are my best of friends, the station that is much disposed to saying the truth as far as we see it. Why should you think that NNPP has a faction? Are you lazy journalists?
Are you a united party?
Yes. Go to INEC website and Google who are the leaders of NNPP. Go to INEC website and Google which logo do they use. And people come to you and just say nonsense because they were sponsored by APC.
Well, that is a function of the political parties, and that's why we have the platform for you to also raise those concerns.
You mean
So
that you will throw investigative journalism to the winds?
We're not throwing to the winds.
Why don't you then investigate?
No, we give a platform for every voice. Mr. Galadima, you have reacted to what the legal advisor has said, and that's why we have to wrap this up. We have to go.
Why are some of us?
Mr. Galadima, we have to go. The news cannot wait.
I could have finished what I wanted to say.
The news cannot wait.
Just 1 minute. Why should people be opposing what Tinubu's government is doing with France?
Okay.
It's an issue that we must address.
All right.
Tinubu should know. He should
for
know
this
that France is one of the countries that wanted to dismember Nigeria during the Civil War.
Thank you. This conversation is now over. You're a friend of the house, like you have highlighted. We'll bring you back for more conversation on this.